All right. So your first part and your test is going to look pretty much just like this. It's just writing your vertex form equation of each parabola, so that's completing the square. So I don't, only thing that I want to remind you of is like right here. Those are all x equals below and y equals above. So it's not going to matter right now, but it will matter when you're pulling out your vertex and when you're graphing them. All right, so if we look at number 1, we need to get rid of this 2 on the bottom and the negative. So we're going to multiply by -2. We get -2y equals x squared. This one doesn't have a fraction, so you need to make sure you distribute that -2. So it'll be a -8 and plus 14. You're going to move your 14 to the other side. And add in a blank. And then to fill in that blank, 8 divided by 2 is 4, squared is 16. Clean it up, 16 minus 14 is 2, minus 2y equals x minus 4 squared. Move your 2 over, so we get -2y equals x minus 4 squared minus 2. And then the last step is to divide by that -2, divide everything by -2. And your final equation is y equals -1/2 x minus 4 squared plus 1. It doesn't want you to do anything else, just put it in vertex form. Right. Since I didn't give you enough room, I'm going to do these on paper, but I'm going to go through the same thing. You can write yours on your paper. All right. So everybody good with number 1? You guys got that? All right. I'm going to do number 3 and number 5 so that I can keep the paper beside it. So number 3 starts with y equals -x squared minus 14x minus 45. We're going to move the -45 over. So we're going to add 45. We have -x squared minus 14x. We need to get rid of the negative. So we're going to factor that out. We get x squared plus 14x, and then put our blanks. Right. Fill this in. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Squared is 49. Remember, this blank is what you took out. So -1 times what you put in, which is 49. So this becomes -49. And then we're going to clean it up. -49 plus 45 is -4. Rewrite it, x plus 7 squared. Add your 4 to the other side. -x plus 7 squared. Add your 4. On number 5, we're going to move our 3 and then factor out a 3 and put in our blanks. You can do all of that at one time. You can do it at separate times. The last couple of times I've done it separately. We can do it all together. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Squared is 1. Clean it up. 1 minus 3 is -2. Rewrite it, x minus 1 squared. And then add your 2 to the other side. So y equals 3 times x minus 1 squared. Add your 2. I'm going to go ahead and do 7. Just go ahead and get this column out of the way. Negative 1/3 y squared minus 20 over 3y minus 103 over 3. I don't like having the fractions, so I'm going to multiply everything. And since it's a negative 1/3 by negative 3. So we get negative 3x equals, change the sign, positive y squared, positive 20y, and a positive 103. Move your 103, negative 3x minus 103 equals y squared plus 20y. Put in your blanks. And again, tell me if I need to slow down. I just feel like we've been doing this for days and days and days. So you probably have it by now. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Squared is 100. Goes in both blanks. And then we're going to clean it up. Negative 3x minus 3 equals y plus 10 squared. Add your 3 over. Negative 3x equals y plus 10 squared. Add your 3. And then divide everything by negative 3. So in this one, I have x equals negative 1/3 y plus 10 squared minus 1. Number 9 is pretty plain. Let's do 2 more in this section. Let's do number 2. So here's number 2 on the side. Y equals 1/2 x squared plus x plus 9/2. I don't think we've had a lot where it just had the middle without a fraction or whatever. We've already done one like that today, but just to throw that out there. We got to get rid of the denominator, so we're going to multiply everything by 2. We get 2y equals x squared. 2 times x is 2x, and then we have a plus 9 on the end. So that's the only thing, is watch that term without a denominator. We're going to move the 9 and rewrite 2y minus 9 equals x squared plus 2x and a blank. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Squared is 1. Again, clean it up. We have 2y. 1 minus 9 is negative 8. Rewrite x plus 1 squared. Add 8 to both sides. And then divide everything by 2. So we get y equals 1/2 x plus 1 squared plus 4. And then again, 6 and 10 are exactly the same. 4 and 8 are exactly the same as we've already done. I'm going to do one more like this, and I'm going to do number 10. Number 10. So it is x equals negative 1/4 y squared minus 4y minus 23. We're going to multiply everything by negative 4. So we get negative 4x equals a positive y squared. A negative times a negative makes a positive 16y. And then 23 times 4, 2192. And it's going to be a positive. Move your 92 to the other side. So negative 4x minus 92 equals y squared plus 16y plus blank. 16 divided by 2 squared is 64. I don't know where the calculator is today. Put it up to charge. All right, 64 minus 92. Negative 4x minus 28, rewrite y plus 8 squared. Subtract or add your 28 over y plus 8 squared plus 28 and divide everything by negative 4. We get x equals negative 1/4 y plus 8 squared minus 7. Any questions on that section? It's just writing the equation. All right. The next section I can probably do within the little room I have. So use the information provided to write the standard form of the equation of the circle. 11 and 12 should not be missed, okay? So remember that form is whatever you have for x, you're going to change the sign. So your x coordinate is -9. We're going to change it to +9 squared. Remember there's a plus between. Y coordinate, change the sign, squared. And then your last step is to square that last number of the radius. So then your final equation, and you don't, again, I'm just showing you where it came from. You don't have to write both of these out, but 1 squared is 1. If I would have just put the 1 there, I didn't want you to think that just the radius goes there. Make sure that you square it. Okay. So same thing on the next one. Our x is a -7, so we're going to change it to a +7 squared. Change it to a -7 squared with a y. And then remember to square the radius. Don't mess that up tomorrow. Square the radius. So we get x plus 7 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 1. (13) through 16 are worked out the same exact way as you did on the top. You just have to complete the square twice. So we're putting in 2 blanks. So I'm going to start way over to the side. I have x squared and -28x is going to go together with a blank. Then you're going to have your y squared and your -6y and a blank. And that random number, we're going to move over. And we have 2 blanks on that side as well. Any questions so far? All right, 28 divided by 2 is 14. 14 times 14, 196. And you guys see how they kind of cancel each other out. They're going to be real close to each other. You shouldn't have big, huge numbers there. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Squared is 9. And then you're going to rewrite everything. X, your first sign is a minus. Your square root is 14. You have y, your first sign is a minus. The square root of 9 is 3. -197 plus 196 is -1 plus 9 is 8. On 14, put your x's together. X squared minus 4x plus blank. Y squared plus 30y plus blank. Move your 220 over, so a -220 and 2 blanks. 4 divided by 2 is 2, squared is 4. 30 divided by 2 is 15, squared is 225. We're going to rewrite. X, our first sign is minus, square root of 4 is 2. Y, our first sign is plus, square root of 225 is 15. Negative 220 plus 225 is 5, plus 4 is 9. I'm going to just drop down to 16 since it's already on the screen. Put your x's together, x squared plus 14x with a blank, y squared plus 32y with a blank. Move the 304 and 2 blanks. $14 divided by 2 is 7, squared is 49. 32 divided by 2 is 16, squared, I don't even know that one either. 256. All right. Rewrite x plus 7 squared plus y plus 16 squared. Negative 304 plus 49 plus 256 is 1. Any questions? Is everybody okay with circles? Just doing it twice. Okay. We're going to do it again. So I'm going to just go ahead and skip the rest of these. And move to 18. 18 says identify the vertex, axis of symmetry, and direction of opening, which is what we did yesterday, and the min and max value, then sketch the graph. I do not care if you sketch the graph. If you have to do a graph on your test, it's going to be multiple choice. So you can just put it in your calculator and look at it. So put it into y equals and graph it on your calculator. Otherwise, you just have to pick out the rest of it. And I think, I'm almost certain, if you pick out all of these, you don't have to worry about graphing it because that'll give you your multiple choice answer, okay? So for this first one, it's already, these first two, it's already in vertex form, so we don't have to do anything. We just write down. What's our vertex? Just be aware that this is y equals. Okay, watch for x equals. That's the one you have to do backwards. So for y equals, what is your vertex? Yeah, you just go in order, change the sign. This is x, change your sign to -4 and -6. Which way does it open? Down because it's a negative and it's y equals. Remember, y opens up or down. So it looks like this. It asks you about your minimum or your maximum value. If it is a y equals, it's going to be a max. Your max value is going to come from your y coordinate. Your max value is going to come from your y coordinate because that's how tall it is. Remember, y opens up or down. Okay, so how tall is it? It's a max because it's at the top. So that might be the only thing that's a little bit different. And again, it's multiple choice, so you'll be able to see it. So don't freak out too much. All right, and then it asks for your axis of symmetry. Remember, I told you to choose the other letter, x equals. And it's whatever your vertex is, which is -4. Okay, so the only reason you're doing this is you're using your vertex. It's just telling you why vertex form is so important. These are the things that your vertex tells you. All right, look at 19. It's the same exact thing. What's your vertex on 19? 4, -2. Which way does it open? Down because it's negative. So that means it does have a maximum.
Pardon this interruption. First grade teachers, if you handed out the letter to students at pre-ACT, there is a mistake on the English version 5. The dates are reversed. So please make that change with the students. I will be emailing the students copies of this as well. But the in-person testing will be next Thursday, the 29th. The remote testing is Wednesday, April 28th. Thank you.
In person, 29, remote, 28. I'll make Miss Burkhart to get them in a minute. I forgot about them. I don't ever check my box. Haven't been to the office, so I apologize. All right. Your max value is going to be your Y. Again, it's a max because it opens down. And then because it's up and down, your highest value is at -2 at your vertex. And then your axis of symmetry is the opposite. It's x equals and whatever your x coordinate is. Any questions? Is everybody okay? All right. Give me 1 second. All right, they don't have any x equals. Okay. On 20, 21, 22, 23, you've got to figure out the equation first in vertex form and then go from there. Okay. So we're going to look at 20. I'm going to push it down to the bottom. We have y equals -x squared plus 2x. We don't have another number on the end, so we don't have to worry about that. We're just going to go ahead and put our blanks in. We have to take out a negative though. So we're going to have -x squared minus 2x, and then your plus blank. Okay. If you need to, put a 0 here, move it to the other side. I don't care. You just don't have a number over there. 2 divided by 2 is 1, squared is 1. Remember, in this box, what you took out times what you put in, so this one will be a -1. We're going to rewrite it. -1 plus y equals -x minus 1 squared. And then you're going to add your 1 over. Y equals -x minus 1 squared. Add your 1 over. What's your vertex? 1, 1. Which way does it open? Down, because it's negative. So if it opens down, it has a maximum. That max is at your y coordinate of your vertex, which is 1. Where's your axis of symmetry? X equals 1. And make sure it's an equation. X equals 1. Any questions? All right, so 21 is the exact same way. We're going to move that 103 over and factor out the 3 on the other side. And add in our blanks. 12 divided by 2 squared is 36. Remember, this blank is what you took out times what you put in. And we get 108. (108) minus 3 is 5. Rewrite x minus 6 squared. Subtract your 5 over. What is your vertex? 6, -5. Which way does it open? So on this one, it has a minimum. Still the same thing. Your minimum value is at your y, which is -5. Your axis of symmetry is still at your x, which is 6. Any questions? All right, flip it over. All right. Same thing on 22. We were going to get that equation. So we need to move the 35 and take out the negative. So we have y plus 35 equals, take out the negative, x squared minus 12x Put your blanks in. There we go. 12 divided by 2 is 6 squared is 36. We have a negative outside, so negative 36. We get y minus 1 equals negative x minus 6 squared. And then move your 1 over. Y equals negative x minus 6 squared plus 1. What's your vertex? 6, 1. Which way does it open? Down, so it looks like this, which means it has a max at y equals what? 1. It has an axis of symmetry at x equals 6. I'm going to do one more of these, and I'm going to do 23 since it doesn't have a number on the end. Like I told you, if you want to put a 0 so it looks just like this one, you're going to move that 0 over and take out your 2. So maybe that helps you see it a little bit better. Fill that in. 2 divided by 2 is 1, squared is 1. What you took out times what you put in gives you a 2 over here. Clean this up. 2 plus 0 is 2. Rewrite it. 2 times x minus 1 squared. Subtract your 2 over. So y equals 2x minus 1 squared minus 2. What's your vertex? 1, negative 2. Is it a max or a min? Does it open up or down? Up. So that's a min at y equals negative 2 from the vertex. Axis of symmetry is x equals 1. All right. And then 25 through 30, we won't do all of them, but we'll do a couple of them. 25 is already set up perfect for you. It's already in vertex form or center and radius form. So to find the center, you need to get it in this form. So all of these we're going to have to rewrite. Your center is going to come from your 2 numbers in parentheses. Just make sure you change the sign. So negative 4, negative 9. And then square root the last number for your radius. And again, we won't do all of these, but we'll do a couple of them. I'm going to do number 28 first since it's all positive and it's pretty small numbers, not terrible. All right, so we're going to get our x's together. X squared plus 6x plus a blank. Put your y squares or your y's together. Move your 3 over and put your blanks. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Squared is 9. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Squared is 81. Rewrite x plus 3 squared plus y plus 9 squared. 81 plus 9 is 90 minus 3 is 87. What is your center? Your radius, you can just leave as a square root of 87. If we find one where we can break it down, we will, but 87 will not break down. Okay. And what I mean by breakdown is they might have 2 square root 3 or something like that. Okay. But this one will not work. All right, I'm going to jump up to number 26. We're going to do the same exact thing. Put your x's together, so x squared plus 2x with a blank plus y squared minus 26y plus a blank. Move the 169 and put your 2 blanks. 2 divided by 2 is a 1, squared is 1. 26 divided by 2 is 13, squared is 169. We're going to rewrite it. X plus 1 squared plus y minus 13 squared equals 1 because your 169s cancel out. What's your center? -1, positive 13. Your radius, remember, is the square root of your last number, so the square root of 1 is 1. We're going to go to number 29. 29. Okay. We're going to put our x's together, x squared minus 32x with a blank, y squared plus 8y with a blank. Move your 269 and put blanks. (32) divided by 2 is 16. Squared is 256. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Squared is 16. Rewrite it. X minus 16 squared. Y plus 4 squared. -269 plus 256 is 13. -13 plus 16 is 3. What's your center? 16, -4. Your radius? Square root of 3. There's nothing else you can do for that. Any questions? All right, just to throw one out there in case it happens, let me think of a number. Okay. Say you get something like this, so your equation ends in 28. Okay, so your equation ends in 28. You're not going to have this for your multiple choice answer. What you'll have is 28 is 7 times 4 or 7, 2, and 2. We circle our pairs. That's how I teach math 1. And it comes outside. So we had a pair of 2. So that's like the square root of 4 is 2. And then on left is 7. So this is what your radius would look like. So if you have to break it down, what I would suggest is that you put like the square root of 28 in your calculator and find your decimal, and then you look at the rest of them. You can put those in your calculator and find your decimal too. If you have a question, just email me tomorrow and it'll be fine. I keep my phone on me, so I'll do whatever you need me to do. All right. Any questions? Is everybody okay? Good. So a lot of work, but not a lot of hard work. All right. Everybody good? I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording.